Hello students, how are you? I hope everybody is doing well. This is Video 10 and today we will check the homework that I gave you last video and we will read a story. So the first thing I want you to do is get out your workbooks. The first thing I want you to do is get out your workbooks and turn to page 93 in the workbook. We're on page 93 in the workbook. We are going to go over the answers to the homework together. So this homework was a lot like the activity, the exercise that we did in the last video. They gave you a schedule and you had to answer questions to go with that schedule. They actually gave you two schedules. One schedule was for May, and the other schedule was for Jorge. So one schedule was for May, and one schedule was for Jorge. Let's look at the problems and answer the questions. Number 1. What did May and Jorge do at 9 o'clock? So something they both did at 9 o'clock. And I see we have a what question. Notice there's a do. What did they do? We need to find the activity. They met new patients in the reception area. They met new patients in the reception area. Okay, so now we're going to go on to number 2. So in number 2, we have a blank. We need to figure out, is that a what or a where question? Blank, did May take her patients at 9:30? Do you think that's a what question about an activity or a where question about a place? Well, we already know the activity. They're asking a question about taking her patients. So this is a where question. Where did May take her patients at 9:30? The what is that she is taking her patients, but where did she take her patients at 9:30? Let's look at the schedule. Do you see it in the box? Here it is. Okay, at 9:30, where did she take the patients? She took her patients to the lab, right here, to the lab. Okay, next one. Blank did Jorge do at 9:30? So now I have a question with do. Do you think that's going to be a where question or a what question? Yes, a what question. What and do go together most of the time. So what did Jorge do at 9:30? When I look at 9:30, it tells me pick up x-rays from lab. So what did Jorge do at 9:30? Remember, we need to put these in past tense. These are things that they already did. I have a clue in my sentence, my question. It says did. Did is a past tense word. So my answer has to go in past tense. So what did Jorge do at 9:30? He picked up x-rays from the lab. Okay, number 4. Blank did May and Jorge do after 9:30? So what or where did May and Jorge do after 9:30? Well, again, I see a do in my question. And we have already said many, many times, if I have a do in my question, probably goes with what. So what did May and George do after 9:30? Well, let's see. After 9:30, do they do the same thing? No, they do different things. So May made the beds in room 304, made the beds, past tense, and Jorge delivered, past tense, x-rays to the doctors. Jorge delivered x-rays to the doctors. Number 5. Blank did Jorge go at 10 o'clock? I don't have do in this question like I did in my other questions, but I do have the word go. When we use the word go, we're usually talking about you go to a place. You go to a place. Okay, so in this one, it's a where question. Okay, where did Jorge go at 10 o'clock? So we look at the schedule, and at 10 o'clock, he went to room 310. That's the place, room 310. So that's your answer. Number 6, blank did Jorge do in room 310? So you told me in the last question that he went to room 310 at 10 o'clock. And now they are asking you a question about, well, what did he do in room 310? So let's look at the answer. He helped a patient. So what did Jorge do in room 310? He helped a patient. And there we have what and do together. Number 7, blank did May do at 10 o'clock. So I want you to tell me, if you see do again, what do you think it's going to be? Did you guess a what question? You'd be right. What did May do at 10 o'clock? So do is an activity, something you do. And at 10 o'clock we can see May, she took patients from the lab to their rooms. At 10 o'clock she took patients from the lab to their rooms. Number 8. Blank did May go after that? So now I'm talking about a place because it's somewhere I go, okay? So is this going to be a what or a where question? Yes, it's a where question. Where did May go after that? So after 10 o'clock, in the last question, she took patients to the lab, from the lab to their rooms at 10 o'clock. Now I want to know, well, where did she go after that? After that, she went to the 4th floor. Okay, it tells you she helps nurses on the 4th floor at 10:45. But since this is a where question, I only have to tell you where she went. And where did she go? The place is the 4th floor, the 4th floor. Last one. Blank did Jorge do at 11:30? So when we look at 11:30 and we look at Jorge's schedule, I can see that, well, first let's answer the what or where part of the question. I see a do, so I'm probably talking about an activity. So what did Jorge do at 11:30? He prepared rooms on the 2nd floor. How did you do on the homework? Do you understand what and where? We've done a lot of practice with what and where, and I think that you're probably starting to understand. I do want to let you know that, like I said, what questions go with do a lot, where questions go with go. But that's not always the case, because sometimes I can have a when question, and it could go with do or it could go with go. For example, when did you do your homework? When did you do your homework? Or when did you go to the park? For what we're working on right now with what and where, it's a good clue to know do or go. But sometimes we can ask a different question using those words. So I just wanted to make sure you understood that. Let's keep going. Now we're going to read a story, and this story is about a cook. So read along with me, and then we are going to answer some questions. Let's start. This story is called A Good Cook. Marcel Dupont is a good cook. Everyone loves his food. He works in a French restaurant. The restaurant is called Les Fleurs. Les Fleurs is French. In English, it means the flowers. Today, Marcel is making soup in the kitchen. He puts butter, onion, carrots, and celery into a big pot. Then he adds potatoes, chicken, water, and pepper. He cooks the soup for 2 hours. It smells wonderful. Pierre is a dishwasher. He works at the restaurant too. Marcel hears Pierre washing pots and pans at the sink. After a few minutes, he sees Pierre. "Taste the soup, Pierre," says Marcel. "It is fantastic." Do you know fantastic? Fantastic means really, really good. Pierre tastes the soup. He doesn't speak for a moment. Then Pierre says, "It's okay, but it needs salt." "No," answers Marcel, "it doesn't need salt." "Yes, it does," says Pierre. "It needs a little salt." Marcel is angry with Pierre. He says, "I am a chef. You are a dishwasher. You don't know how to make soup." "Okay," answers Pierre, "but I know how to taste soup. And I know your soup needs salt." Did you like that story? It has a funny ending. Let's go through some questions together to talk about the story and the characters, the people in the story. Okay, so in these questions, we just have to answer yes or no. Let's look at the first one. Marcel Dupont is a dishwasher. What does Marcel do? Is he a dishwasher? No. Marcel Dupont is a good cook. We see at the very first sentence, it says he is a good cook. And what's another word for cook? A chef, right. So he is a chef. He works at Les Fleurs. Question number 2 wants to know, is Les Fleurs a Japanese restaurant? Is Les Fleurs a Japanese restaurant? No, it's not. What kind of restaurant is Les Fleurs? It is a French restaurant. In English, Les Fleurs means the flowers. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 3. They will ask, today Marcel is making soup. Today Marcel is making soup. Is that true? Yes? Or is that false? No. Is he making soup? Yes. Today Marcel is making soup. And where is he making soup? Look at the top. Where is he making soup? Where? In the kitchen. That's the place. He is making soup in the kitchen. Number 4. Marcel adds potatoes, beef, water, and pepper. So let's see. The sentence says, then he adds potatoes, chicken, water, and pepper. So what is number 4? Is it yes or no? Number 4 is no. Why? Because he doesn't add beef, he adds chicken. And number 5, Marcel cooks the soup for 2 hours. How long does Marcel cook the soup for? It says he cooks the soup for 2 hours. So yes. Number 5, yes. Okay. Number 6. Pierre helps Marcel cook the soup. Is that one of Pierre's duties, to help Marcel cook the soup? What is Pierre's job, and what are his duties? Pierre is not a chef like Marcel. Pierre is a dishwasher. He washes the dishes at the restaurant. He is a dishwasher. So what are his duties? His duties are to wash the pots and pans. Okay, he washes the dishes. So does Pierre help Marcel cook the soup? No, he does not help Marcel cook the soup. Number 7. Pierre says the soup needs a lot of salt. Does Pierre say the soup needs a lot of salt? Let's look at the story. At the very end of this page, Pierre says it needs a little salt. It needs a little salt. So a lot of salt or a little salt. He says it just needs a little salt. So this one is also no. Number 8. Number 8. Marcel is angry with Pierre. How does Marcel feel? Is Marcel angry? Yes, Marcel is angry with Pierre. Marcel doesn't know how to make soup. Do you think that is yes or no? Marcel doesn't know how to make soup. That one is a no. Who doesn't know how to make soup? Pierre, because he's the dishwasher. Marcel does know how to make soup, but maybe it is not very good soup, because Pierre says, your soup needs salt. He says, I might not know how to make soup, but I know how to taste soup, and your soup needs salt. So that was our story. I hope you liked this video and that it was a good review of what and where questions. I will see you in the next video where we will keep on working in Unit 8, practicing verbs, past tense verbs, practicing about jobs. We will also learn something new. So I will see you soon. Bye-bye.